Good afternoon. My name is Brian Glantz, and I head up global sales with Currensee. This afternoon, we're joined by Carl Height, who heads up sales with Back Bay Futures, and we're very delighted that you're able to join us today. This afternoon, we want to share with you how you can participate in the world's greatest market, and that is of the foreign currency market, a $4 trillion a day market. And the way that you could participate is by joining the Currensee Trade Leader Investment Program. And this afternoon, I'm going to share with you exactly what that looks like, how it works, and how you can choose to participate. At the 100,000-foot view, the Trade Leader Investment Program has trade leaders. You can think of them as our portfolio managers. These are some of the world's premier expert foreign currency traders. And I'll discuss that a little bit further. And we have trade followers. And the concept is that the client can follow the leader, whereby the trade leader's success becomes the client's success. How does it work? Very simply, as I'll share with you this afternoon. You, the client, open up a brokerage account with one of the participating brokers that we work with. There is a one-to-one relationship between you and the broker. Your account, your broker. You are the only one who can deposit or withdraw funds. You have complete control over the account. You then, within Currensee, build a portfolio. But in this case, a portfolio of currency trade leaders that you would like to follow. You're going to look at their performance, their risk, their strategy, their consistency. Very intuitive, and you're going to say, I want to follow these 1, 2, 3, 4 trade leaders. And then, although Currensee is not the custodian of your funds, we will automatically execute the positions in your account every time the trade leader that you're following executes a position. And it's just that simple. This afternoon, I'll share with you that you have the opportunity to take as little or as much risk as that you would like. That's important to you because it gives you the opportunity to take advantage of the much higher returns of our trade leaders while mitigating your risk and controlling how little or how much risk you want to take, both on a trade leader by trade leader basis and on an account basis. This afternoon, I'll also share with you how we find our trade leaders. These are professional traders. Certainly, we don't take anybody's word for it that they're successful. These trade leaders are highly vetted over a 6 to 8 month period. We assess their performance, their risk. We understand their volatility and their drawdown, their percentage days losing. We look to see that they trade in conformity with their stated strategy. We do background checks. We check them out with the in-country regulatory body. And these trade leaders, by the way, are from all over the world. So your money is always working for you. So without further delay, let me share with you the Trade Leader Investment Program. On the left, you can see that, and by the way, we are looking at a live client account who has given us permission to look at their account. There are 4 tabs: Investment Dashboard, Portfolio Management, Portfolio Performance, and Find Leaders. Right now, we are on the Investment Dashboard tab. In the top right, you can see that this client has a little over $107,000 in their Forex account. Here, general information, we can see their realized gain or loss. To date, based upon closed positions, the client has a profit of $18,291. At the same time, right now, there's a little bit of a drawdown, and the client has unrealized loss, unrealized because the positions are open, of $88.69, with a net gain of $9,422. It's important to realize that these positions are open and they are not closed. So it's not an incurred loss, it's just a drawdown. Right now, the client is following 4 trade leaders. Here are the trade leaders: Johnny Jang, Lee Trading, FXW Trading, and Harbor FX. Each of the trade leaders have their respective ticker. This month, and of course we're sitting here on the first business day of June, there are 7 trades this month. And since the client started participating, a little bit more than 3,300 trades. Under detailed information, you can see each of the 4 trade leaders. Again, their realized gain or loss. Johnny Jang, this client has a profit of $27,849. They have a drawdown of $75.96. They've allocated $74,000. So of the $107,000 that's in the account, $74,123 is allocated to follow this individual trade leader, Johnny Jack. By the way, he wins 89% of the time, 759 trades, and has been following him since July 1st of 2011. When you look further down, you can see all of the open positions that are associated with the various trade leaders. If the client so chose, they could say, this position on the Aussie dollar USD, I want to close this position. Point and click, and they can do that. Now, it's important to understand that the trade leader is purpose to take advantage of following the trades of the experts, of our premier trade leaders. But if you wanted to close a position, you have the ability to do so. So you can control your risk, and you can close any single position that you want to, and you get the benefit of the incredible performance of the trade leaders. So that's what you see here on Investment Dashboard. As we scroll down just a little bit further, here you can see your asset allocation chart visually of which trade leaders you have chosen to follow. As we talk about foreign currency, or as it's known as Forex, it's very important to understand that the Trade Leader Investment Program is an alternative asset class. It's an alternative asset class because it's not correlated to any of the other major indices. It's not correlated to the Dow or the DAX or the S&P or anything of the sort. And to be a true alternative asset class, that asset class has to move independent of the direction of any other indices. So if you were to look at some of the worst months of the S&P 500, you might see those are the best months of the Trade Leader Investment Program. So most prudent money managers would suggest to you that a percentage of your investment portfolio should be in an alternative asset class. And this is by far the best alternative asset class that I can certainly think of. Let's look at the next tab, Portfolio Management. It's important to understand that you as the client, you are always in control of your account. Without calling Carl at Back Bay Futures, or calling me at Currensee, or calling your broker, you could add money, withdraw money, add a trade leader, stop following a trade leader, change the amount of equity you have following a trade leader at any point in time. Simply, if I were to point and click on this red X, which is Johnny Jack, I would instantaneously deallocate myself from following this trade leader, so there would be no additional trades that are automatically executed. And I would close every single open position. Well, since this is not my account, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit cancel. If I chose that I wanted to change how much equity I had following Johnny Jang, point and click on the pencil, and you can see here that I can put in any amount so far as I have the equity in my account to otherwise cover it. And that happens instantaneously. Let's talk about risk management. And I know of no other managed type product that gives you the type of control and risk management tools as the Currensee Trade Leader Program provides to you. Here is drawdown protection. If you did nothing and never looked at this tab, the default setting is 30%. And that is to suggest that if you were to lose 30% of your equity between open and closed positions, we would unallocate you. We would close every single open position. Now, the wonderful thing here is that you can choose to make this as low or as high as you would like. You might say, I want this at 5%, being extremely risk adverse, or I want it at 99%, taking on considerably more risk. But you have the choice. You also have the choice to select from peak, which is the high water mark of your profitability on your equity curve, or from the initial allocation. As a strategy, you can differentiate between open and closed positions. So on drawdown protection, on closed positions, you may want 30%, 40%, 50%. But on open positions, you realize that the trade leader generally turns the positions around. And you may want to give them 50, 60, 70% on open drawdown protection. Inconsequential of what the specific numbers are, you have the option of using these tools, you have the option of differentiating between open and closed positions for drawdown protection. Here you see leverage cap. Now we do show you that the typical leverage used by this trade leader, Johnny Jang, is 3-to-1. His max leverage is 30-to-1. So 3-to-1, you may say, seems a little risky. I only want 50% of that. Or I only want 40% of that. Or alternatively, you may see typical leverage 3-to-1, very low. I want to take 200% of that. Not 200% leverage, but 200% of what the typical leverage is. So instead of 3-to-1, you'd be at 6.2. And that you would use the leverage multiplier to otherwise facilitate that. Also, you can deselect certain currency pairs. So if there are geopolitical things going on in a particular region and you don't want to execute the position, point and click, move it to the right, and although the manager executes the position will not be executed in your account. Leverage cap on an account basis, you can set the total leverage threshold that you're willing to accept on your account. If the leverage ever got to or exceeded that threshold, the positions would not be executed. Portfolio performance. Here you see the same gain and loss numbers that I shared with you earlier. Under monthly performance, you see the month-on-month performance on what the client has experienced. You could see in May, 17.1% gain. April, they lost 8.6%, but clearly you see more green than red. As you scroll down, here on this drop-down window, you can look at any trade leader, and you can see any and all prior activity. You changed risk controls. You changed the equity. You added a leader. You deleted a leader. But any and all changes. And below that, in the spirit of true and full transparency, we show you every single position that is executed in your account, no matter which trade leader you happen to be following. We have the date and time that the position opened, the date and time the position closed, the type of position, the trade leader or ticker that you followed, the size of the lots, the pair, the open price, the close price. If there is slippage, and there's always going to be a little bit of slippage, we show you exactly what that slippage is. And by the way, we put a slippage cap so that we make sure we do everything we can to make you as profitable as possible. So if we can't get you close to the same price and the same spread, we would not execute the position. And instead of saying followed, you would see not followed. And here we show you the gain or loss of every single position. You could see a lot of red and just a little bit, you can see a lot of green and just a little bit of red. True and full transparency. Let's look at find leaders. How do you know which trade leaders to follow? Well, we have a list of metrics that you can choose to look at. Trade Authority Index, which is our version of a Sharpe ratio, different units of performance relative to risk. The higher the score, the better the performance. You can look at the strategy, the number of followers, the minimum capital that's required. You could look at the risk. So a number of metrics that you could customize for what you're interested in looking at. If I were to point and click on any trade leader, up comes a biography, a bio of who they are. Johnny Jang is a money manager. He's from China. You see his strategy, his pairs, his frequency. To the right is two strategies. His cum return on his A strategy is over 82%. His cum performance on his C strategy is over 689%. 689%. That seems like a very big number because it is, but it's empirical. It's actual performance. When you scroll down, he's trading for more than 5 years. He has more than 5,700 trades, more than 10 per week. He's technical. He's in Asia Pacific. Here are his pairs. I scroll down, I can see his equity curve. I can put in, you can put in any date range that you would like right here, or 10 days, 1 month, 3 months, 1 year, or max, which is since we've been tracking him. Here you see his cum return, 689.3. Closed trades, 2436. Wins 84.4% of the time. And he's 67% consistent with his strategy. When I scroll down, here since March of 2009 is his actual, literal, month-on-month performance. May, astonishing 26.3. May is down 12.8, March up 7.4, February up over 37%. It's a phenomenal, phenomenal trade leader. I'm not endorsing Jordan Jang, but obviously looking at this performance, one can't help but being impressed. When I look down further on this scatter diagram, I can see his performance score. On the left is a performance score, high, low. On the bottom is risk, low, high. Where does a trade leader want to be? Top left region with low risk, high performance. And you can see this trade leader is exactly right pretty much where he wants to be. And when I scroll down further, you can see the components of his risk. You can see his max drawdown, his percentage days losing, his volatility. And we compare that to the S&P 500, which is what you see in the orange. Earlier, I shared with you every position that was executed in the client's account. Now I am sharing with you every single position that is executed by the trade leader. Again, with the open date, close date, type of position, pair, open price, close price, and gain or loss. So you have every position that's executed in your account at the client, and you have every position that's executed in the trade leader that you're following, and you can take as little or as much risk as you would like, and you can close any single open position by any trade leader at any time for any reason. So this is what the Trade Leader Investment Program by Currensee offers you and the opportunity of how you would want to participate. How do you go forward? You simply work with Carl at Back Bay Futures, and Carl can direct you how to start and engage with the Currensee Trade Leader Investment Program. So I would like to thank everybody for participating with Back Bay and with Currensee today. We thank you very much for your time. We thank you for your interest, and we hope to have the opportunity to serve you. Good day now.